Italian paleontologists have discovered the remains of an ancient giant goose. It weighed about 22 kilograms and stood almost 1.5 meters tall. Judging by its size, the bird did not fly, but it could certainly inflict heavy damage on its opponents with its limbs. Scientists concluded that it was a striking representative of a special fighting breed of geese. In Italy, these feathered creatures have been treated uniquely for many centuries. According to legend, late at night, the Gauls sneaked into the Roman fortifications at the capital, set up ladders against the wall, and began to silently advance toward their target. No one heard the approach of the enemies, except for the sacred geese. They were kept nearby, at the temple of the goddess Juno. The birds began to cackle so loudly that they woke the sleeping guards, who raised the alarm. The Romans were able to repel the enemy attack. In memory of this event, an annual festival was established. It was quite interesting. Geese were carried on gilded litters, gifts were presented to them, and dogs, whose ancestors had failed to raise the alarm, were beaten with sticks. This legend is known worldwide, and it may have played a role when an unusual decision was made to guard the state border between China and Vietnam. Since 2021, an entire squad of feathered border guards has been serving there. 500 birds regularly patrol a fairly large area and, reportedly, successfully help detect intruders. Experts claim that geese do not even need to be trained for guard duty. If geese consider a territory their own, they fiercely defend it from strangers. This behaviour is especially pronounced during the breeding season. When goslings appear, the female can also help the male drive away uninvited guests in case of danger. In Scotland, in the area of Dumbuck, the guard qualities of geese found an entirely unusual application. In 1959, birds were entrusted with guarding expensive blended whisky. 6 white birds were called the Scotch Watch Group, which roughly translates to Scotch Patrol. Over the next 10 years, the squad grew to 100 feathered guards and became a local attraction. A monument was even erected to the geese by the owner of the enterprise. In 1959, he built warehouses and barns in Dumbuck, where his expensive whisky matured. All these barns required hiring a large number of guards. But of course, hiring someone with a trained dog is always expensive. Instead, he found a way. He took these white geese and put them on guard duty. At a military base in Germany in 1986, the US Army stationed 18 geese to protect radars and anti-aircraft installations. And when the winged special squad proved its effectiveness in practice, the goose contingent was increased tenfold. Ornithologists confirm these birds often handle the task even better than dogs. They raise the alarm more selectively. Dogs sometimes start barking at any rustling sound. Then someone gasps, another barks. Consequently, the guards might not react because they bark again. They won't go. There's simply no one there. They bark again. Meanwhile, geese raise their noise more selectively. If it's just some rustling, they won't react. But their sense of smell and hearing are no less keen, and they specifically raise their cackling when a strange living being approaches. Geese become ideal guards during the breeding season when females protect the eggs and males guard the entire family. At this time, the bird's bravery borders on recklessness. In this footage, taken at an American base in Oklahoma, a goose attacked a soldier. Friends, I would like to recommend you a channel where you will find historical documentaries and deep dives into the past. From ancient civilizations and forgotten legends to historical secrets and untold stories, we bring history to life with expert narration and stunning visuals. Explore the history of ancient empires, historical figures, and rare historical facts, revealing the secrets of the past. The link to the channel will be in the description under this video. Comrades, victims of this attack immediately retreated and preferred to bypass the enraged bird. In this video, a goose's anger was directed at an office worker from the Canadian province of Ontario. There's a stereotype that someone is as brave as a lion, right? Or as brave as a tiger. In reality, predators are cowardly. For any predator, an injury means reduced mobility. The bravest animals are actually herbivores, herd animals, because evolution has ingrained in them that one member of the herd can sacrifice itself, but the predator will then be scared and won't attack the herd again. Yes, geese have this natural bravery. Geese live on all continents, except perhaps Antarctica. They are undemanding in their diet and possess another indispensable quality for guard duty. Their uniqueness is linked to a specific trait. They sleep while remaining alert. Half of their brain sleeps, while the other half stays awake. I've never heard of other birds doing this. Scientists call this phenomenon unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Additionally, a goose's brain controls each eye independently, giving them a wider field of view. The next superpower on these birds' resume is their ability to easily adapt to any climate, and even sudden weather changes. Scientists from the University of Vienna conducted an experiment. Near the town of Grunau in central Austria, they caught several dozen birds and attached special sensors. The devices recorded body temperature, heart rate, and other indicators over a year and a half. Through this experiment, they discovered that the birds could calmly endure open spaces and winter in the Alps. During the experiment, their body temperature dropped, breathing slowed, and their pulse decreased. This slowed their metabolic processes, allowing them to withstand the cold. Ornithologists found that in winter, geese's metabolic rate decreases by about 22%, and their body temperature drops by almost 1 degree. They adapt quite well to new conditions. They are very social and possess certain cognitive abilities, meaning they can learn from their own experiences. It's no wonder that in many parts of the world, geese were literally revered, and legends and fairy tales were created about them, where these birds always play an exclusively positive role. While many know the story of how geese saved Rome, few remember how they saved Barcelona. But in the Basque capital, they are also held in special regard. 13 white birds have guarded the cathedral for centuries, generation after generation. It is believed that at the dawn of Christianity, a girl was executed there, but she forgave her tormentors and did not renounce her faith even under torture. According to legend, immediately after her death, her body was surrounded by white geese. The townspeople, including the executioners, realized they had killed an innocent and repented. Moreover, many embraced the new faith. In memory of this miracle, white geese are always kept in the cathedral.